Hey everybody, Jimmy here. Welcome back to the channel. Do you know what today is? That's right, it's the natural gas report, and it's released 1 hour after the market opens. So in today's video, I'm going to give you three things. Number one, a correction I need to make regarding yesterday's video. Number two, we're going to do a full breakdown on the natural gas report, including technical analysis in the charts. And then number three, I'm going to give you the answer to a question I've been getting a lot recently regarding where to get information on demand levels for natural gas. Here we go. So to start things off, I want to apologize to all of you. I misread the graph that I showed in yesterday's video, and I had a viewer point this out, had him point out my mistake, so I thank you for that. Let's flip over to the graph, and I want to make that correction real quick.
Remember from yesterday, we brought up the U.S. natural gas storage on investing.com, and I was showing you guys this graph right here, and I was also showing you down below, we were getting into some of the actual versus forecasted storage rates, the billion cubic feet in storage. So the thing I want to correct, and I thank the subscriber that pointed this out to me yesterday, looking at this graph, I had said that all the bars above was when the actual was higher than the forecasted. And you can see right here, hovering on October 10th, that the actual was 98 billion cubic feet and the forecasted was 97 billion cubic feet. But as I keep going back, we'll see that pretty soon there the actual is 78 billion cubic feet and the forecasted is 82 billion feet. So it flip-flopped. So when you look at this chart, the bars that are above the middle line, all that means is that the actual amount that was revealed for that week of storage was positive, meaning that we added more to our storage. Now, if I scroll back over here a little bit more, I guess I can't, but if you look, oh, there we go. If you look at this group of bars, they're all negative. All that means is that the actual amount that came out was negative. So you can see right there, it was a minus, meaning that supply or overall storage of natural gas went down. So any of these bars more than likely caused UGAZ to spike to the upside. Any of the bars in here likely caused UGAZ to spike downward and have DGAZ push to the upside. So all it means is that up bars mean positive, meaning we gained on our storage. Down bars mean negative storage, that we withdrew more. There's less storage than before. So I just want to make that correction real quick, and I apologize if that threw anybody off. I had a few questions about it, and I just wanted to go ahead and clear that up. If you have any additional questions on this, post the comments below.
So next I want to get into the natural gas report itself and talk about storage levels and then show you the intraday charts and talk about how this affected the futures market. Okay, I want to pause briefly just to give you a couple of seconds to hit that subscribe button, turn on notifications so you can give the channel a test drive. Let me know what you think.
Okay, so we've got the natural gas storage report up, and let's just break it down real quick. Let's just take a look at what happened. You can see right here we've got our 10/18 of 2019 compared to 10/11/19, which was the previous Thursday. So remember, this natural gas storage report comes out every Thursday, 1 hour after the market opens. So let's go through it. You can see in the east we had an increase from 880 to 898. We went up to 1069 in the Midwest. The mountain ticked up just a hair. Pacific is the same, but just barely. And the same in the South Central. So overall, we went from 3,519 billion cubic feet in storage to 3,606. So again, another increase in storage, which is likely going to cause DGAZ to spike up and UGAZ to spike down. Now, regarding what direction it goes for the day, we'll go take a look at that in a minute. But for right now, we're just looking at one piece of our sort of 5 puzzle piece pie, I guess. That's a weird analogy. But our 5 pieces are storage, our exports, our imports, our demand, and our weather. So right now we're just looking at storage. And if we look at 1 year ago on October 18th of 2018, you can see down here that we were at 3,087. So we are above that right now at 3,606. And then if we go to our 5-year average from 2014 to 2018, the 5-year average was 3,578. So we are now officially above that level as well at 3,606. So if we work down the report just a little bit, we can see at the 3606 as of Friday, October 18th, and it says that it represents an increase of 87 billion cubic feet from the previous week. So it's showing down here, we've got our graph plotting out the previous 5-year with the maximum and minimums included. You can see down here at the key, the gray part is the 5-year maximum, the blue line is the lower 48 states, and then the darker gray line is the 5-year average. So you can see 5-year maximum, minimum, we're still within that range, and it's showing that stocks in storage were 519 billion cubic feet higher than last year at this time, and then 28 billion cubic feet above the 5-year average, which are basically just these numbers here just reported. So we are high in terms of storage, so I'm curious to see what that's done to price action for UGAZ and DGAZ, and we're going to flip over there right now. Okay, so I've got /NG Z19, which is updated for December of 2019 for the futures market. I'm going to move myself down here. I'll get out of the way, and then let's take a peek real quick and let's see what it did this morning. So I'm actually going to go to the 1-minute chart just so we can kind of see what happened today. And if we go back to 8:30, so we had an increase in storage. So without looking at the charts yet, just close your eyes and say up or down. I would probably guess down. And if we look at 8:30 on the 1-minute chart right here, oh, interesting. So what we had was a big spike down, a big spike up, and then sort of a settling here. But we ended up with a green sort of large doji on the first minute of the day. And then we popped and then we started to drop down. So this may be sort of a hangover effect of having increased storage and sort of no further action, just more of the same. I'm going to flip to the 5-minute chart just to look at it on a different candle style. So if we go to 8:30 today, which is right in here, you can see, yeah, we popped and dropped. So I wasn't watching this the second it came out, so I don't know if it popped first and then dropped, or if it dropped, then popped, then dropped again. Maybe you guys can comment below and tell me, did it rise up or did it drop first right out of the gate? But ultimately caused a push to the downside, and then you can see it recovered, and then it's been working back up for the remainder of the day. A really big push around 10:30, and also just to remember, this is Mountain Standard Time that I'm reporting. So 8:30 is actually 10:30 Eastern. So this 10:30 candle is about 12:30 Eastern Time. So then it pulled back, trickled back down, touched the 20 simple moving average, and then started to move back to the upside. So overall, you can see right here on the 5-minute chart that once we had that report come out, we got a big downward expansion on the MACD, and then as it started to recover, I'm guessing many of you took entries there, sort of in this area as it started to show dojis and started to get smaller on the MACD, moving to green, and then we got this push back to the upside, some resistance and sticking points right in here, but then ultimately breaking through, pulling back, and then creating another opportunity right in here to possibly go long. So if you are in, really even right now, any of these times right in here, I'm guessing we're probably going to continue moving to the upside. So intraday, nice pullback because of the report, and now we're moving back to the upside. So here in a few minutes, we are going to get into demand, which was the third thing I was going to give you in the video today. So hang tight. I'm going to give you that in just a second, and we'll go through exactly what's going on with demand as well today on the same day as the report's coming out. So back out to the daily chart. Just taking a quick peek. I want to look over at UGAZ for a quick second. And let's go over to the 1-minute chart here, and let's see what happened and see what was reflected on UGAZ right as the report came out. So 8:30 my time, you can see we had that big doji, the same as on the futures market. Then the big drop, pullback, drop, and then as we came back up, you can see the MACD got extended down twice. We didn't have to come green, it turned back down, but then we did start to come green, so nice entry opportunities in here. looking to sell into these resistance points being the 50 simple moving average and the 20 simple moving average. It did get rejected, pushed back down, but then ultimately you can see later in the day it did break that 50 simple moving average, tested it as support, and then worked its way up for a while. And then here's a classic example of support and resistance. Resistance being this 200 simple moving average and support sort of being this 50, and you can see how it's kind of been pinballing back and forth, gaining energy, and then ultimately breaking out to the upside and pretty violently right in here. So that's really great to see. I'm guessing a lot of people are taking profit at this 13 1/4 level because I know a lot of you kind of been stuck on UGAZ. So I hope you took profit. Comment below. Tell me if you took profit on UGAZ. I want to know what price level you got out. So take a quick second, go down to the comment section, give me the price level that you took some profit, and I hope everybody had a green day.
Now, as promised, I want to show you some great information on the topic of demand. Remember yesterday we talked about the 5 elements that affect natural gas prices. We have storage, demand, exports, imports, and weather. Many of you asked if I had a resource for demand values with regards to the natural gas report, and at the time I didn't have it. Ha! But now I do. Let's take a look.
Okay, so I've got the natural gas storage report up again, and to get demand values, go to this report. I'll link it in the description below, so check that out there. If you just scroll down, you'll see over here on the related links, there's a natural gas weekly update. If you click that link, and I'll link this as well so you don't even have to click that link. I'll put them both below in the description. If you get this page and scroll down, you get spot prices, and then if you go even further, you get a supply and demand table. Now, this is my first exposure to it. I was really excited to find this. As I keep learning about natural gas and about how it's traded, when I discover these things, I get kind of excited and then just want to share it with you guys. So if we look at demand, like we had talked about, I had a lot of people asking about it. So if you look in here, you can see what the demand values are for the gas week of 10/10 to 10/16. So you can see this week versus last week versus last year, and you can see our consumption levels. You can see power, industrial, and residential, commercial. Then you can come down and you can look at Mexico exports. You can see how that's playing a role with demand. You can go to pipeline fuel use and lossage, and you can see exactly what's going on there versus last year or even last week. Then you've got liquid natural gas pipeline receipts and total demand. So we can see right now that total demand from this week versus last week, there was no change at all, exact same value. And if you go to last year, you can see that demand is up from 79. So I'd like to hear from some of you, does this last year's value for total demand have an effect on what happens with natural gas pricing because we have increased demand year over year for this week and last week? I'm just curious to know more about that. But right now, demand is up over last year at this time, but demand is the same when you compare last week to this week. So just wanted to introduce that to you guys. I hope you find it helpful. Comment below. Let me know if you've been using this table, and we'll see you tomorrow.